Alright, we will be splitting this case now. We've got the clutches off, we've got the flywheel, the stator, we've got the cylinder and the head off. So we're going to a couple more things we need to pull off here to split this case. We've got bolts, Allen bolts around the outside. We just have a couple on this side. We'll have to pull this shift mechanism, the star off here. We've got one over here for a case bolt. And then we'll pull the shift mechanism off here. And then we'll flip this over. We've got a handful of bolts on this side that we'll pull. And then once we get these case bolts off, we will use a plastic or rubber mallet to try to split this case. And just want to make sure we get them all off of there before we start hitting anything. And you can hear the difference when it breaks free, when that gasket there kind of breaks open. Now what I do is I try to figure out which side everything's staying in, so it looks like on this one, majority of the gears and stuff are staying on this case. So I'll tip it up this way and pull it off this way. That way we don't have as many gears falling off. And we've got that case split there. One side, and then here's the other. So this is the crank balancer here, and we've got the crankshaft here, and then we've got the transmission here. There's your shift drum here, we've got your shift forks. It looks like 3 different shift forks. And then we've got your shifter shaft here. This gasket, once they're this old, they will just kind of break apart. When they're a little bit newer, they'll generally come out in one piece. But if you're rebuilding this motor, you want to obviously replace this, get a clean one, and clean it up with a razor blade, just kind of scrape it all free. Never want to reuse a gasket, especially this gasket here. So there is your shift mechanism there. This is where the shift star sits onto. And there's a pin here and a groove on this shift star. Make sure those line up. Put that back on there. Here's your cam chain gear here, your lower sprocket. Here's your shift mechanism. And this shift, those splines a lot of times will be shot, and that's the case here, so we just throw this away. Shift fork there. All 3 of those, and then the transmission. And I try to keep this transmission all the same here, or all together when I'm pulling it out. That way I'm not wondering where stuff going back together, how these gears are on there. But you just want to make sure no washers stick to the crankcases and you don't see them until you're going back together, because you want to make sure that you have There's your 2 main shafts there. We'll use a hammer and tap this crank out if we can get it out. A lot of times, sometimes you have to use heat but I think this one will come out fairly easily. There's the crankshaft there, and here's the balancer. So that is splitting the case on an XL350.